Hi, everybody. Well, I'm going to start again. I don't know how I make these mistakes. It's just that technically I'm just a high eye. What can I say? All right, let's get going. All right, so I'm Judy McKee Consulting, and it's delightful to be here. I made the bad recording first, but it's all right. I'm going to make another one right now for you. And I will take this recording and I will send it over to you so you can download it to your for your staff and use it all you like. All right. If you want to call us for training, of course, luckily for us, we are not in charge of the technical things when we do a training in a call center. We let you do all that. But just give us a call at 818-945-5141 and we will come and train your call center. We are experts. So let's start today with what we're talking about. And I said motivation is really old school because we want our customer experience to be very, very good. And we also would like to motivate them and we would like to inspire them. So one of the things to always remember, background of everything is, if you feel good or it feels good to do, you will probably be right. You will probably be on the right track. We don't feel good when we make people wrong or stupid. And as you know, our goal always is to make the customer feel right and smart, to make the customer feel very well taken care of, to make the customer feel like they've done the right thing to call us, and we are here to make them feel like all we wanted to do was make them feel smart to have gotten us on the telephone, or you in this case. People are motivated by what they are motivated by, not necessarily by what motivates you. Okay, that's very important to remember. They are motivated by what motivates them, not by what motivates you. All right? So let's talk about what's the difference between the truth and the facts. Everyone can relate to the truth. And you have to come from your experience, period. You have to. If you're going to be a speaker, if you're going to be a trainer, if you're going to be a coach, if you're going to motivate others, if you're going to be communicating with other people, remember this: whether it is motivation, inspiration, actualization, or realization, the facts are words don't teach. Words don't motivate, and words don't inspire. The truth is, the only thing that inspires and helps people get the point is experience. So you can teach with experience, and then only inspiration works. So when you tell a story, when you relate a true incident with passion and self-understanding, it relates your truth. Your audience, your agent, your supervisor, and your customer, they will all get it because it comes from the heart, or what I call comes out of your experience. It's one of the most important things that I ever learned, so that even today when I had the mishap with the computer, I have to come out of my experience. I don't feel good when I make those mistakes. But I know that when I'm learning something new, it's very possible that I will make a mistake. And I've got to allow for that so that I can then get off it and move on, proceed to the highlighted route. What's next? And I'm going to do that starting now, this very minute. I know I make mistakes, but I'm willing to live with it, and I'm willing to learn from it. And so your audience, your supervisor, and your customer, they will always get it when you come from sincerity and authenticity. You know, I say that they have all this new stuff out now, artificial intelligence. I say I'm going to rename that and do a seminar called Authentic Intelligence. That's what we want. Authentic intelligence. We want that because we want to be authentic. I think that as time goes by, the people who can really communicate best are going to be the ones who are paid the most, and they're going to be at a premium as well. Well, the key elements of selling and serving by phone are always that the customer wants a good experience. And who doesn't? I want a good experience. The customer wants a good experience. The agent wants a good experience. The supervisor wants a good experience. Everybody wants one. So we have to learn, how can we be a subject matter expert without making the customer feel wrong or stupid? That is always what we communicate in our training. The mindset that works is the customer is always right to have called us. Not necessarily right with their point of view, because sometimes they're rude, sometimes they're bad-mannered, sometimes they're unkind, sometimes they're thoughtless, sometimes they say mean and cruel things to the agents. But the agent just has to give up the judgment call. That's the bottom line of all of our training. It's true that people do have bad manners. And sometimes it's the technology that caused the problem. So if we could come out of our experience like maybe we've done something wrong at some point, maybe we were rude to someone at some day, some way, and maybe we could just be understanding of that, then we could communicate with skill that we know how to make them feel good that they picked up the phone and called us today. Conversation is becoming a dying art, and that's why next session is going to be on really the art of asking questions, or the art of communication, because we want everyone to learn in a very short time. I know we can't teach a whole seminar in 20 minutes, but we can learn some principles, and we can learn some things that we could practice, and that's the point of the Quick Fix Friday. I want you to come and get something out of this that you can take back to your company, use it, direct others to use it. I give it to you because I want to. It is how I can make a difference in the world. People don't get what they deserve in their lives. They don't. They get what they think they deserve. And that's why we have to build their self-esteem. That's our job. You cannot motivate another person. You can only create an environment in which people become self-motivated. That's the truth. People cannot be motivated. You can't make anybody do anything, but you can create a safe environment in which they will motivate themselves. So that's why we have to inspire them as leaders. And this will build their self-esteem, and they will grow and get better and better and better at it. It really is a miracle when you stop to think of it. It's pretty simple, but it isn't easy. The psychology of motivation and inspiration is something you need to take inward in yourself and realize that some of the things we've learned actually don't work. You know, like the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule sucks. I mean, it really does. No kidding. I mean, it means that 80% of the goods that you sell come from 20% of the people, or 80% of the good work that people is done by 20% of the people. Well, I don't like that rule, and I don't think we should follow it. We want the 80-20 rule to be the other way around. Yes, we do not want to discount the top 80% of our company and just say we only expect 20% of you to do good work. And we want to remember this: people do things for their own reasons, not ours. That has been one of my life lessons. People don't do things for my reasons. They do things for theirs. And once I realized that, I could make all my presentations, all my scripts, all my words, all my phrases, all my support go directly to help the customer get what they want, because, and for their reasons. They want what they want for their reasons. We also ought to admit that even though we call it service, it's always sales. Everything is sales. You know, we have to sell people on liking themselves as trainers and building their own self-esteem. We have to sell people on working hard so that they get a better result. We have to sell salespeople on selling skills so that they can make more money selling. We can, as trainers, supervisors, managers, and coaches, we can train other people to be inspired. And if we would use our examples, our true life stories, then they will be inspired by them. They're always inspired by the real truth. It's fascinating to learn the psychology of people. You know, one of the things that I truly love is the old-fashioned 70s thing that I learned years ago, where it said, life is like a yardstick. Ordinary life is in, a yardstick is 3 feet long, so the ordinary life is in the 2 feet, 11 3/4 inches, where the real thrill is in that last quarter of an inch, that place where you make a difference. if you're watching the Olympics right now, you see that people lose a race by 100,000th of a second. Wow. That means they took a breath and that did it for them. That's hard, isn't it? Well, we can learn that the life is really exciting in the last quarter. I don't mean at the last quarter of your whole life, but I mean in every expression and in every way you deal with other people. That most things are pretty ordinary. And the extraordinary comes along at the very nearly the end of what you're doing. Or you can create an environment in which you're in that quarter of an inch where you're saying, I invite everybody to participate with me and to be inspired by me. And then they will motivate themselves with your inspiration. You know, I say that the last withhold people have is that they don't want to give up the fact that they actually know that what you fear will come upon you. They actually know that when they get angry, it's not good for the body. It's certainly not good for the mind. They already know that. Why do they hold on to it? I don't know. They would rather be right. And this is a problem. And so we have to give up being right. And instead, let's be happy. Let's be joyful. Let's do what feels good. And if we do, even in the call center, it will feel better to handle your customer with your inspiration. And guess what? They will have a good customer experience. There's only one rule in the world. Never make the customer wrong or stupid. Always make the customer feel right and smart. That's all. That's the only thing you have to remember. It's just that everything else comes out of that. You know, people want to be motivated, and sometimes they say, well, it's money, money, money. Sometimes it is money, but it isn't really the physical money. It's what does money buy? You know, I was very motivated in my youth, in my business, because I wanted to put 3 kids through college. This takes a lot of money. So I didn't say I wanted the money. I said, I have intention to put my children through college. Now there is an intention. There's something I can be inspired by. I'm not inspired by dollars and cents, but I'm very inspired by what I can do with the dollars and cents. And the last thing, although it doesn't really have too much to do with motivation, it's something you want to remember. The upset is never the upset. The upset is never the upset. You know, it's like when I made a mistake on the webinar today. That's not the upset. The upset is feeling stupid. That's the upset. It's underneath the fact that I made an error. And now I'm fixing it. And it will all turn out all right. But it was what's underneath that upset, that I can't handle technology, that the new stuff is difficult for me, etc., etc. Yes, we need to know that the upset is never the upset. It's always something else. So look for the upset underneath the upset. All right? Oh, I had to show you this because my new book is coming out in the next couple of weeks. And it's called Llama Lessons. And all of you who have been with me before, who have learned the Llama, or those of you who have heard about the Llama but you didn't learn it yet, I just want you to know that my new book called Llama Lessons is coming out. It is, I hope, a good book. It will help you to understand how the Llama came about. And I just started doing keynote speeches. I did a couple now. And boy, do I love it, because I only have to talk for an hour and I get to have fun and go home. And I really enjoy doing that. And Sally Cordova, my daughter, of course, does all the heavy lifting around here. She does the training all day long. And then we have some support from some other people who help us when we have a very large call center. But just remember this. I am available for that, and I would love to do it, because it's so much fun to be in front of the room and be able to, what I call daze, glaze, and amaze, and do the whole thing in an hour. I love that. And welcome if you need any of that for your national meetings. I would love to be called upon to support you in that. All right? All right, let's check what it is like to be on the leading edge whenever you're doing motivation or inspiration. The leading edge is not easy. You know, those of you who are taking my training, you are on the leading edge. No one comes to my courses just to be ordinary. They never do. They come to learn principle. They come to learn how to come out of their experience. They learn how to deliver a training that will inspire everybody or move everybody to better and higher results. That's why they do it. And that is being on the leading edge. That's just not, opening up a manual and facilitating a training. This is getting down, getting underneath, breaking aside the box. Well, if you could check your own psychology and understand the psychology of other people, I will tell you, it would be brilliant of you to do that. For instance, one of the things that's very, very important is that if you could check your own style and then adapt to the style of others. We use the DISC model at our company. Now, it means that you pay attention to the style of another person, and then you try to adapt what you say and do to them. For instance, the high D driver personality, if they are your customer or your boss or anyone, and you know that they are a driven person, they are very direct, they are always looking for the bottom line, and they want it to be quick, and they want to save time, and they want to save energy, and they want somebody else to do all the work. That's a high D. So if I can understand that I am not a D, I am an I, and so I will need to adapt a little bit to that D. They will like what I say because I will make what I say make them feel right and smart. And if it's another high I, it's very easy for me to sell another high I or to work with another high I because we are the same. We will waste a lot of time, however, but we will have a good time. And that I wants to enjoy the exchange, wants to not have a lot of paperwork, wants to have fun and sometimes careless, so we have to keep an eye on them. And we don't want them to make mistakes, and we want to be sure that they are watched a little bit for the paperwork that they do. The high S, that's the S personality, that is the steady, stable relator, who is, by the way, the bottom line of every company. They are the backbone of our call centers everywhere. And they are the ones who don't like to take risks. So if we hire them at customer service but tell them to sell, you can see you're going to have a little bit of a problem, aren't you? Yes, because they don't like to sell. They think it's risky. So you can teach them the llama technique, or you can teach them how to sell with soft skills instead of manipulation, and they will do it for you. They really will. They will add on to orders as long as they know that it's helping the customer, serving the customer, instead of just be a sales job. And if we can understand that psychology, we'll make it a lot easier on our customer if we can start to recognize that direct driver and that happy-go-lucky high I and the steady, stable relator, because that person really wants to be safe. They want to be secure. They want guarantees. So all we have to do is offer them what they want, make them right about it, and we will sell more and have a better customer experience all around. The high C, now that would be, C stands for compliant, but what we really mean is an analytical. They want to be right. They live wanting to be right. They are engineers and accountants and people who want to be right. So what we have to do as the other styles is we have to be sure that they get to be right. And by the way, don't worry about it. They almost always are right. Yeah, they don't take risks. So therefore, if they told you something, they were probably right about it before they even spoke. And so we want to be sure we use that. We use that at our company. I don't know what you use at yours, but when you can understand other people's psychology, then you can help them get what they want, and you can adapt to them for a phone call that lasts 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. You don't have to adapt forever, just for that few minutes that you're on the phone. You can then communicate your inspiration, and they will get it. So what are you going to do now? When will you start? Where will you go from here? Well, remember, you will never get out of the box that you're in if that box makes you right. So I caution you to check. Spend some time today looking to see if there is a possibility that you might not be right. And then open up to the question, what could I do? Where will I start? See, people who come in with all the answers, that stops things. Answers stop things. And yet we are crazy for answers. We want answers all the time. Well, what will you do? When will you start? Remember, you won't get out of that box if it makes you right. Enjoy the rewards of being right about getting out of the box. That's a lot more fun. And that way you will start to see how you can give the customer a better experience. You can give the people in your call center a better experience. And you, of course, will have a better experience. Well, I always say change is inevitable, except at vending machines. That's an old joke. I can't resist sometimes. Or I read this the other day. But I was watching a television program, and then this funny guy was on, and he was about to be murdered by a bad guy, and he was a comedian. And he says, "Oh, please, please don't kill me. I have 43 Twitter followers counting on me." Well, I have 843 Twitter followers counting on me. Remember, things do change. They always change. And it's such a good thing when you can learn to go with the flow. You know, really nothing goes backwards. Nothing goes backwards. We talk about it like we do, but we never do. The sun just keeps on going. The moon just keeps on going. Space just keeps on going. Our traffic keeps on going. Everything just keeps on going. I think I'm going to write a new book called Please Proceed to the Highlighted Route, because there it is, right in front of you. It's right there. And it's got change in it. Ugh, and change sometimes makes things difficult. My mother once said, "Judy, if you think you're so smart, you've got another thing coming." Well, you know what? I was afraid when she said that. I was scared of her when she said that. But I'll tell you right now, I love it. I want another thing. I want another thing to come to me. I want another idea. I want another plan. I want another book. I want another everything. I want to move out. And I want to get bigger and better. I want to do keynote speeches all over the world. That's my new goal. I want llama everywhere. I really do. And I don't know how I can get a new thought. I don't know how I can get a thought nobody ever thought before. But I'm going to be open to it. I am. I'm going to be open to it. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope I did that in 20 minutes. I'm not counting the time now. This time I just ran through it, as you can tell, because I do want to get it out to you. I hope this one turned out all right. If it didn't, I'll do it again, because I'm starting to understand the technology. I don't have it all, but I will get it. I am thrilled to be with you today. It's been a pleasure. And this has been a pleasure, even though the first time I messed it up. It's still a pleasure to be with you. I want to start our quick fixes this year with some motivation and inspiration. And I want you to be inspired. And look around your life and see what inspires you. Because I tell you, if you just took a look, you would see there are people that are inspirational. They're doing a job. They're loving their family. They're looking at you with loving eyes, your children, your family, your associates. Some of them are just waiting for you to inspire them. And all you have to do is tell them how much they inspire you. And the whole thing works beautifully. You know, life is like gravity. You know, it just keeps on going. And it will never stop. You don't wake up in the morning, wonder if it's going to be gravitational today, or if you're going to float off the planet. No, you already know that you're not. And you already know that ahead of you lies something. What you don't know is what's ahead of you. But I will tell you right now that if you open up your eyes, you'll begin to see that highlighted route. It will motivate you, and then you could pick up the phone and say something to the customer that makes them feel glad they called. Say, well, you know what? I'm sorry you had that difficulty, and I know it's upsetting, but you know what? Today you got the right person. You called the right place. You backed the right horse. You got the right girl. I am going to help you, and I'm going to help you starting right now. Now tell me the whole story, or tell me what happened, or tell me when it happened. Always end on a question. All right, everybody? All right, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Next week, I'm going to be in Chicago speaking at a convention, and Sally Cordova is speaking at the Cal Labs convention in Chicago. And I'm going to be backing her up, really. I'll be talking out in the aisles, though, probably, or in the in the hallways. If someone will listen, if I can get an audience, I will immediately start talking. Anyway, I love all of you. This is going to be a great year. I will get this Zoom technology down, and then we will have fun learning something new every week. All right? Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. Buy my new book. It's on Amazon. See you later.